There's a moment that every cat owner has experienced. You are sitting on the couch. Your cat walks into the room, looks directly at you, and then turns around and leaves. No acknowledgement, no greeting, no reaction at all. You were assessed and dismissed in under 2 seconds. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a small voice asks the question that no dog owner has ever had to ask. Does my pet even know I exist? Cats are the only domesticated animal that makes you wonder if the domestication went the other direction. Dogs look at you like you are the center of the universe. Cats look at you like you are furniture that sometimes produces food. And for decades, scientists mostly agreed with the cats. The common view was that cats are solitary, indifferent, and bonded to territory rather than people. They tolerate us. They do not need us. They certainly do not think about us. But in the last 10 years, that story has been destroyed. Completely. Study after study has revealed that cats understand far more about humans than anyone suspected. They recognize our voices. They read our facial expressions. They form genuine attachments. They even manipulate us, using a vocal frequency specifically engineered to trigger our parenting instincts. So the real question is not whether cats think we are big cats. The real question is what cats actually think we are. And the answer is so much worse than you expect. Let us start with the man who spent his career inside the mind of a cat. John Bradshaw is an anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol. He spent years studying how cats interact with humans versus how they interact with other cats. And his central finding is the one most people get wrong. Bradshaw found that cats do not change their social behavior when they interact with humans. The behaviors cats use with us are the same behaviors they use with other cats. When a cat rubs against your leg, it is depositing scent. It does the same thing to other cats it considers part of its social group. When a cat raises its tail straight up while approaching you, that is a greeting signal. It does the same thing to friendly cats. When a cat needs your lap with its paws, it is repeating a behavior from nursing as a kitten. When a cat slow blinks at you, it is showing trust. Same behavior, cat to cat. Most people hear this and conclude that cats think we are cats. That is the headline that went everywhere. Cats think you are a big stupid cat. The internet loved it. But that is not what Bradshaw actually said. What he said was much more interesting. Cats have not developed a separate social toolkit for humans. Dogs did. Dogs evolved entirely new behaviors just for interacting with people. New facial muscles. New eye contact patterns. New response systems. Dogs built a second language specifically for us. Cats never bothered. But that does not mean cats think we are cats. It means cats decided that their existing social system was good enough for us. They did not upgrade. They did not adapt. They looked at this large, slow, bipedal creature that controls the food supply. And they said, in whatever way a cat says things, this will work fine. And here is where it gets interesting. Because the system does work fine. It works extremely well. Cats have gotten everything they need from humans for 10,000 years without changing a single social behavior, which raises an uncomfortable question. Who is the smart one in this arrangement? Now let us talk about the one exception, because there's exactly one behavior that cats invented specifically for humans. Just one, and it tells you everything. Adult cats almost never meow at each other. Go watch a feral cat colony. You will hear hissing, growling, chirping, trilling, and yowling. But sustained meowing between two adult cats is rare. Kittens meow at their mothers to signal hunger or distress. Once a cat matures, it largely drops the behavior with other cats. Except with you. Your cat meows at you constantly. In the morning when it wants food. At night when it wants attention. At the closed door when it wants through. At 3 in the morning for reasons that remain between the cat and whatever dark forces it answers to. Cats reactivated a kitten behavior and redirected it at humans. They're using baby talk on you. On purpose. And here is the proof. Researchers found that cats do not use a universal meow. Each cat develops its own specific vocabulary with its own specific human. Your cat's meow sounds different from your neighbor's cat's meow. The pitch, the length, the tone have all been refined through trial and error over months and years. Your cat tested different sounds on you when it was young. The sounds that got results stayed. The sounds that did not got dropped. Your cat custom built a language for you and only you. And it works. Every single time. You hear your cat meow, and you respond. You open the door. You fill the bowl. You pick the cat up. The cat trained you using a frequency that your brain is hardwired to associate with a dependent creature that needs care. But it goes deeper than that. A study from a University of Sussex found that cats have two types of purr. There's the normal purr, which is a low, steady vibration. And then there is what researchers call the solicitation purr. This is a purr that cats use when they want something, usually food. The solicitation purr has a hidden high-frequency component embedded inside it. That frequency sits in the same range as a human baby's cry, between 300 and 600 hertz. Cats embedded a baby cry inside their purr. Your cat is literally hijacking your parental instincts. When you hear that purr and feel compelled to get up and do whatever the cat wants, you are not being generous. You are being manipulated by a sound that your nervous system cannot ignore, because it is the same frequency that would signal a helpless infant in distress. No one taught cats to do this. No one trained them. They figured it out on their own over thousands of years of living with humans. And they did it so well that most cat owners have no idea it is happening. You think you chose to feed the cat. The cat engineered the situation so that you would feel like you had no choice. But here's where most cat videos stop. They tell you cats are manipulative, independent, and indifferent. That is the punchline everyone expects. Cats do not care. Laugh, subscribe, move on. Except in 2019, a researcher named Kristen Vitale at Oregon State University ran a study that destroyed that entire narrative. Vitale used the Ainsworth Strange Situation Test. This is the same test used to measure attachment in human infants and, more recently, in dogs. The setup is simple. The cat is in a room with its owner. The owner leaves for 2 minutes. The owner comes back. Researchers observe what the cat does during the separation and the reunion. The results shocked almost everyone in the field. 64% of cats showed secure attachment to their owners. When the owner left, the cat showed signs of stress. When the owner returned, the cat relaxed, explored the room again, and divided its attention between the owner and the environment. That pattern is the textbook definition of secure attachment in both human infants and dogs. For comparison, roughly 65% of human infants show secure attachment. The numbers are almost identical. Cats are attached to their humans at nearly the same rate as babies are attached to their mothers. The remaining cats showed insecure attachment styles. Some were clingy and could not settle down even after the owner returned. Some appeared completely indifferent, which is classified as avoidant attachment. These are the same categories that exist in human infant psychology. So the narrative that cats do not care is not just wrong. It is the opposite of what the data shows. The majority of cats form genuine, measurable, secure emotional bonds with their owners. They just express it differently than dogs. A dog shows attachment by running to you, jumping on you, licking your face. A cat shows attachment by relaxing in your presence, by sleeping near you with its belly exposed, by sitting in the same room, not because it wants anything, but because your presence makes the environment feel safe. That does not look like love to most people. It looks like indifference. But if you understand what it costs a small predator to let its guard down, to expose its belly, to close its eyes in the presence of a creature 50 times its size, you start to realize that what cats offer is not less than what dogs offer. It is just quieter. Now here is where this gets strange. In 2013, researchers at the University of Tokyo ran an experiment. They played recordings of cat owners, calling their cat's name through a speaker. Mixed in with the owner's voice were recordings of strangers saying the same name. The cats were alone in the room. No humans present. The cats clearly recognized their owner's voice. Their ears moved. Their pupils dilated. Their heads shifted toward the sound. Every physiological marker confirmed recognition. They knew exactly who was calling them. And then they did not respond. They heard their owner. They identified their owner. And they chose to do nothing about it. The researchers classified this as recognition without response. The cats were not confused. They were not deaf. They were not indifferent. They heard. They knew. They decided it was not worth getting up. But cats do have their own way of communicating back. In 2020, Researchers at the University of Sussex confirmed something cat owners have suspected for a long time. The slow blink works both ways. When a human slow blinks at a cat, the cat is significantly more likely to slow blink back and to approach the human afterward. A slow blink from a cat is a genuine social signal that means something close to trust or comfort, and cats will initiate it with strangers who slow blink first. So cats do not ignore humans. They ignore human communication styles. They ignore calling, clapping, whistling, and verbal commands because those are human tools. When you use a cat tool, the slow blink, the quiet presence, the patience, cats respond immediately. The problem was never that cats do not communicate. The problem is that humans keep trying to talk to cats in dog language and then getting offended when cats do not answer. Most people find the Tokyo study insulting. But think about it from the cat's perspective. A dog responds to its owner's voice because dogs evolved a biological need to maintain proximity to humans. Responding is not a choice for a dog. It is a compulsion. A dog comes when called because its brain chemistry rewards obedience. A cat's brain does not do that. A cat does not have the same neurochemical compulsion to respond. So when a cat does come to you, when it does sit beside you, when it does curl up in your lap, it is making a choice. A real one. Not a compulsion. Not a chemical override. A decision. And maybe that is what makes cat people different from dog people. Dog love is overwhelming, unconditional, and biologically automatic. Cat love is selective, earned, and freely given. Neither is better, but one of them is a choice, and the other is a reflex. You can decide for yourself which one means more. But there's one more piece of this story. And it is the one that will sit with you after this video ends. Cats domesticated themselves. Dogs were domesticated by humans. We selected the wolves we wanted. We bred them. We shaped them over generations. Dogs exist as they are because we designed them to be that way. Cats chose us. About 10,000 years ago in the Near East, the first agricultural settlements began storing grain. Grain attracted mice. Mice attracted wildcats. The wildcats that were slightly less afraid of humans stayed closer to the grain stores and caught more mice. Over time, those bolder cats lived near humans, bred near humans, and eventually moved inside. No human decided to domesticate a cat. No one selectively bred them for obedience, for loyalty, or for companionship. Cats walked into our homes on their own terms. They stayed because the arrangement benefited them. And in 10,000 years, they have changed almost nothing about themselves to accommodate us. Their social behavior is the same. Their hunting instincts are intact. Their independence is unbroken. A domestic cat's DNA is nearly identical to a wild cat's DNA. Put a house cat outside, and within a few generations its descendants will be functionally wild again. Try that with a poodle. Dogs changed everything about themselves for us. They evolved new muscles, new brain chemistry, new behavioral systems. They gave up their autonomy, their hunting capability, and their ability to survive without us. A dog without a human is a tragedy. A cat without a human is a Tuesday. Cats sacrificed nothing, and they got the same deal. Same food, same shelter, same warmth, same survival. They kept themselves completely intact while getting everything dogs got. If domestication were a business negotiation, dogs gave up everything for a partnership. Cats showed up, took what they needed, kept full ownership of themselves, and left the terms open enough to walk out whenever they felt like it. 10,000 years later, the deal is still on their terms. So do cats think humans are just big cats? No. Cats do not think you are a cat. A cat knows you are larger, louder, clumsier, and far less graceful than any cat that has ever lived. It knows you cannot hunt, you cannot land on your feet, and you have no idea how to clean yourself properly. But a cat also knows that you open cans. You control doors. You maintain the temperature. You provide the single most valuable resource in a cat's world, which is a safe place to sleep. And a cat knows something else, something that 10,000 years of living alongside us has taught every domestic cat on Earth. It knows that if it purrs at the right frequency, tilts its head at the right angle, and slow blinks at you across the room, you will do almost anything it wants. So what does your cat actually think you are? Here is my honest read. Your cat does not think you are a big cat. It does not think you are its parent. It does not think you are its servant, despite how the relationship might look from the outside. Your cat thinks you are a large, strange, emotionally readable creature that responds predictably to a small set of signals. It has memorized your patterns. It knows when you wake up. It knows the sound the fridge makes when it opens. It knows the difference between you putting on shoes to leave and putting on shoes to go to the backyard. It knows which voice you use when you are about to feed it versus the voice you use when you are about to take it to the vet. Your cat has built an entire internal model of who you are based purely on what you do. Not what you say, not what you think, what you do. And it updates that model constantly. It does not love you the way a dog loves you. It will not wait at a train station for 9 years. It will not fall apart if you leave the room. But it chose to be in the room in the first place. Nobody made it stay. No leash, no fence, no locked door. A cat that lives in your house and sleeps on your bed is there because, out of every possible place it could be, it decided that being near you was the best option available. And the fact that an animal this independent, this self-sufficient, this evolutionarily intact chose to stay near you, that is not a lesser form of love. That is a cat-shaped compliment, and from a species that changed nothing about itself in 10,000 years. It might be the highest compliment any animal has ever given. Your cat is not your family. Your cat is not your friend. Your cat is something that chose you, keeps choosing you, and could leave any time it wanted. It has not left. That should tell you everything.